Hello and welcome to Making Up the Magic. My name is Eva, and usually on my channel I do makeup that is more retro, glam, fashion. But today I'm doing an exception. We're going to do something a little bit different, something timeless, something classic, something wearable. And I'm going to walk you through each and every step. So this kind of look is perfect if you need to go to a job interview, you have a first date, you work with the public and you need to look professional, or even if you need to meet your in-laws, or I'm sure you can think of 100 different occasions where you want to wear makeup, but you don't want it to be too in your face or too intense. So that's the kind of makeup I'm going to show you how to do today. It's not completely vintage. It is inspired by makeup from the 40s and 50s, but it's going to be a timeless version of those kinds of makeup ideas. And that's what's really more important. Now, in case you don't have any makeup in your collection, this is a really nice palette if you're fair to medium, Maybelline, inexpensive, and it doesn't matter if you have these colors or not. So what's really important, what is really, really important is this. The first one is something that is your skin tone. Then you need a taupe, a gray, a brown, a black shade. And this gray should be not blue toned. It shouldn't look chalky or ashy on your skin. It should have some brown or some taupiness to it. Now, the black does not have to be super intense, deep black, because we want something subdued. If you have a very deep skin tone, this palette by JUVIAS, the chocolate palette, is fantastic. You can use these two colors to create your skin tone. You have brown, you have a deeper brown, so you can mix these two. You have an ashy brown. And if you're medium warm, I'm going to put a palette, not a palette, but some color swatches, Pantone swatches here. If you already have a makeup collection, you might be able to find your colors in your makeup. I just want to tell you that I've been doing makeup for 6 years and I'm still learning new things. So if you're new to makeup, do not be discouraged. Just keep practicing, and practicing on your own face is actually the best thing ever, because one, you give yourself a lot of self-love by taking the time to make yourself look pretty or beautiful or anything in between. And the more you practice, the better you get at it, and the better you get to know your face. And also, really importantly, after you've completed the look, it's also very good to take a picture and to see if it looks good or not. And it's the best way when you're working with your own face to sort of step back and have a look at it, have a look at what's really happening with the makeup. That's how I learned to do makeup. I'm going to zoom you in and I'm going to show you how to get the idea of the makeup, which is going to be a smoky liner makeup. I'm going to do one eye also, and then I'll guide you through the steps to achieve the makeup. So this is the look that we're going to be doing, and these are the brushes that we're going to be needing. Something that is a liner brush, a fluffy brush, a flat, fluffy-ish brush, and a goat hair pencil brush. So just so you have a good idea of what they look like. So we are going to start with the goat hair brush, and we're going to dip it into the skin tone shade. I'm going to coat it pretty well. Now I've already tight lined my eye with a black eyeshadow, and there's an eyeshadow primer on my eyes, which is tinted. Now for this kind of look, or for smoky looks, I recommend that you use an eyeshadow primer that is slightly darker than your skin and maybe a bit more peachy. So that way the shadowy, shady shadows don't look too ashy or purpley. So we're going to deposit this on the top of the eye, on the top of the eyelid, and blend it all the way to the brow bone. So when you put the darker shades on top, they actually blend into something instead of just going onto your skin. I'm going to do the same under the eye. Try not to put some too close to your lash line because you'll be putting darker shades there. So then I'm going to be going into my taupe shade. And what you want to do with this is you want to start at the lash line and then just blend it into nothing on your lid. So you create a gradient like so. Then I'm going back into the taupe and I'm essentially contouring the bottom lash line. I'm dipping back into the taupe and now we're going to put it on the brow bone. So not exactly on the brow bone, but slightly above the brow bone. And I'm starting in the middle of my brow bone. If you prefer to put more of the shading on the outer part, it's really up to you and your eye shape. So I'm blending it over the bone. If you have hooded eyes, this is really important because it's going to create a socket or a brow bone as well. So it doesn't matter whether yours is showing or not. This is an important part. Now we are going to go into this flat brush and I'm going to dip between the brown and the gray shade. I'm going to take some of it off on the back of my hand and I'm just going to go on the lash line. So depending on the thickness that you want, choose the appropriate brush. Since my lid is very apparent, I'm going to create more shading there. If also you have more sort of a cat eye, almond eye, and it sort of swoops outwards and up, then I would suggest you do that for yourself. I'm going to follow usually the shape that I do when I do an eyeliner. So whatever you do when you do your eyeliner, sort of create that shape, but instead this is going to be smoky. We're going to start on the outside. You can use a more precise brush if that makes you feel more comfortable. Go back into the goat hair pencil brush. I'm going to dip between the taupe and the brown. It doesn't matter, it's really the colors that you're using that are important. And I'm just going to go right on top of where that ends. So you see there's like an edge. So I'm just going to go right on top and I'm going to apply those colors there to blend it out. I'm just going to move very gently and upwards. There you go. I'm going to stop there. So I'm going to now do the liner. I'm going to dip between the gray and the black. And I'm just going to start on the outside and pull it in. Do the eyeliner shape that you would do on your eye. So I'm just checking to see if both sides are similar. Now I'm going to dip again between the gray and the black and I'm going to go back in. I'm making it a little bit thicker. Pencil haired goat haired pencil brush. And I'm just going to go again right above with the point. I'm just going to blend. I have nothing on the brush. I'm just going to blend upwards. I'm going to dip between the skin tone shade and the taupe shade. And I'm going to go over this edge here just to blend it. There you go. If at the end it's looking a little bit choppy, go back into the skin tone shade. You can also add a little bit of that taupe shade if you feel it's necessary and take a fluffy brush and then go over all of it again. That skin tone shade and the taupe shade is really going to help you blend out those darker colors. Now with the pencil brush, I'm going to dip between the taupe and the brown. I'm just going to contour that. I'm going to go back into the liner brush, dip into the between the gray and the black. I'm just going to follow the lash line. I'm going to connect it here on the outside. This is usually what I do to make my eyes look bigger. Now I'm going to take this brush again, dip it into the brown shade and a bit of the taupe shade, and I'm going to smoke that out. And as a finishing touch, you take whatever's on the brush off on the back of your hand, dip back into the skin tone shade and blend. And there you go. You've done it. Now you can make the black more extended. You can change things around. You can put shimmer on top of this. You can do whatever you want once you have this base going. You can put a liquid liner. It can look good. So this sort of is kind of a very soft contoured makeup that doesn't really scream any sort of intense flavor. It's a little bit flavorless, but in a good way, so you can shine through. Now I'm going to put on some mascara and I'll be right back. I've curled my lashes, put on the lash primer and a mascara, and this is what it looks like. Now at this point, again, you can deepen things if you want. Because I'm very fair and my hair is very light, I'm going to keep it like this. And if ever you've overdone anything, just take a cotton swab, take the skin tone color and reblend everything and it should be fine. So here's the look zoomed out in my very professional vintage blazer from the 90s. And again, this is a very simple makeup. If you practice every day, you can get this done in like 6 minutes, plus the mascara and lash curlers. But still, you can get it done really fast. These colors go with pretty much every sort of professional looking outfit, colors, neutral. I mean, what else is there to say to sell this to you? I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to have more vintage content coming up. And if I ever have any other cute ideas like this, I'll post them. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And like if you like this video.